Okay, to begin, badging. Gonna try to keep it clean and concise. But as we did in class, the first thing we need to is create a new scene. We're gonna go ahead and create that new scene, and we're gonna call it badges. I'm then going to also I'll call this one trophies, just to make it different. Then I'm going to get in here, and I don't think I can change the layout again, so no, I can't, because blank is even covered. So I'm just going to go ahead and make a little clever shape cover here. Cover that up. I guess it's only clever because I'm saying it is, which means it's not clever. Self-proclaimed cleverness. Okay, so now I have what is going to be our lightbox slide. I have that in there. Everything about it is nice. I like it. I want to make sure I get all these out of here. Okay, good. So now I want to bring in my trophies. We also do this in class. I opted to do pictures this time, so I have two pictures that I'm going to bring in. Trophy 1 and Trophy 2. Just these cool little guys here. How you doing? So you can use anything you want, a shape, it doesn't matter. It's just a matter of going through the process of creating the variables, changing, and earning. Okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is lock that so I don't mess around here. And then, of course, if you're going to create a badge, in the whole sense of the things, it needs to be unearned, which later becomes earned. So I do that through states. So I'm going to create a state here. Edit state. I'm going to add a new one. I'm going to call it unearned. Unearned. Now I have two. Traditionally, online learning, it's either not there or it is grayed out, something along those lines. With states, you see the one that is blue is the one that is active and you'll be working in. So I'm just going to click on this little bugger right here, and I'm going to try recolor. Does that help? A little too much? How about that? I'll go with the blue. Yeah, so there. So we're good there. Unearned, normal, we're done. Now I go to this guy. This probably won't work as well. I got to edit states. I'm going to add. This is also going to be called unearned. I'm going to say add, and it's blue. Let's see if the recolor works with that. Oh, yeah, cool. All right, nice, done editing. But as you can see, they both appear earned. So I need to click on it and set my initial state to unearned. So now it's clear when I come here, oh my, I do not have my trophy. Okay? I'm going to create this as far as a slider, because what I want you to do is have an exercise. So we did the watering one, which you'll do, and then you'll do a slider one, and I'm going to show you how to do a slider here shortly. So I'm just going to call this one slider. So I want this to be a slider variable. So I'm going to go to Insert, I'm going to pick a text box and go here. Then I'm going to go up here again to Insert, I'm going to say Reference. And there's nothing here except my other ones, right? So this is flower, sapling. That's what I have in my project already. But I need a new one that I'm going to call, oh boy, slider done. Slider underscore badge, I'll call it. I want that to be true, false, and I want to set it to false. Set OK. There it is, slider badge. I'm going to say OK. There it is on my slide. So when I preview this, you can see that I have two. Oh my, that looks terrible. I don't get that. But I have two unearned badges, and it is set to false. We're certainly going to have to fix that. So I'm going to close it. And essentially, the idea is what? We want this. And again, I told you in class, when you have a light box, this scrubber here that is going to start all the way from the beginning is going to constantly start from the beginning every time the lightbox slide is accessed. So we're going to use that to our advantage and simply say, change the state of course I didn't name it, that's awesome, but I can use my built-in storyline features, picture 2, and I want to change that to normal, which we know is earned because it's colorful, when the timeline starts, and then of course it's going to be this timeline. But there's a condition. We only want that to happen if that variable that we created, called slider badge, is equal to true, right? So just check it out. Change the state of picture 2, which is trophy 1 in this case, to normal, which again is the colorful earned, when the timeline starts, and that's the name of this here, 2.1 trophies, you can see here, but only when the slider badge is equal to true. That means the user can visit this lightbox slide that we're about to make a gajillion times. It will not show earned unless that particular variable is satisfied to true. Okay? So, okay, we're done. So now I'm going to go back to story view, and I need to find an instance or an area where I can complete a task and then change that variable to true. And I figured, why not do that in a sense where you're actually using a slider, because I don't believe we colored that in intro. So you're going to go to Insert, and then you're going to pick Slider, and we'll pick one. So I'll pick this one. And what I'm going to do is just pop that slider right down here. Some things that you can see and notice right away is that there's a bar that slider just cruises through, and there's also this little dial. To change this aesthetically, if you go up to the top there, just like a picture, just like a shape and text, you have Format. When you click on Format, you can change all of these things, right? The color of the track by default. There's a thumb style over here, which of course is the dial. Or you can just set it to no fill and no border. No outline, excuse me. So now it's just, there's a track it's going to cruise on, but you can't see it. That's what we're going to do in this instance because, I'm going to use the goofy little worm guy. How do you use the goofy little worm guy? That's easy. You just click on the dial. See that? And when you right-click, you can cruise down to Format Shape. When you click Format Shape, you can see our options here. This is very PowerPoint-y, I'm sure. But then you see Picture or Text Fill. You click on that. And then here it says Texture, which we don't want, or Insert from File, right? So when I do that, I can go, and I don't know where yours is, but just navigate to your worm. Is this it? Yeah. And then make sure that you, I think there's another one. Where is it? Line Style, Text Box. There's going to be a box around it, and you're going to want to set that to 0 maybe. Line color, line color, sorry. You set that to no line, okay? And when you do so, there of course is our little worm. Now when I preview this slide, we got nothing but our worm just chilling. But we know he's on a slider, so we can just grab him, and off he goes. There he goes. See you, buddy. Okay? Great. So I'm going to close the preview. And now also when you have this slider highlighted, you see Format, which we did there. And there's other properties if you want to get real specific, if you have multiple sliders on stage, which we will in future projects. But for now, you want to go to Design. And what Design is the specific. So here you see Variable. So each slider, no matter when you put it on the stage, has a variable associated with it. You can also do this Update up here. Yeah? And this says Update when slider is dragged. That's all preferential. But here is the start. So right now I want to have this worm start at 0, which is fine. But if I wanted him to start at 1, he would move along the way there. See that? I don't know why it's doing that, but I'm going to keep it at 0. Your initial then is where you want him to start. If I want him to start at 0, if I want him to start at 1, whatever. End at 10, and there's one step. I just want to end at, let's say, 5. Okay? So now you see my initial, he goes a lot farther, but he only goes 5 specific ways. Yeah? So we're okay. So what we're going to do is just put something here at the end. I don't have anything at the moment, do I? So let me try to find a picture quick. How about a shape? And, oh my, I'm not prepared for this. I don't know why. Okay, how about, I don't know. I don't know why this is difficult for me. I'll put a character in there. We'll put Lily. Ooh, no, Amber. I don't like Amber. Phoebe. No, Amber. Definitely going to put Amber in there. Kind of pose. So we'll put Amber chilling. She's just working at her desk. No big deal. And we'll just put, where is our, well, let's see, we'll go ahead and send her to back. So we're just going to have our little worm come over here and kind of scare Amber by, you know, tickling her feet or something. So that's weird. But what we want to do is determine the variable number there, or at least the position. So we're going to go to design, and we know that it ends at 5. We can verify that by saying initial is 0, and then you see your worm is there. 2 is there. Excuse me, 1, 2 is here. 3, 4, and then 5 gets us to the end, right? So we can move Amber just a little bit over there, like that. Then we're going to come back down here. Whoa! We're going to come back down here, set our initial back to 0. And what we're going to do here is put our variable on stage, insert, reference, slider badge, say OK. Put that up there. And all we're going to say is when this slider, right, is equal to 5, set that to true. Okay? So our trigger is going to say, adjust variable, slider badge, to the assignment and the value of true. When the slider, let's see, where is it? Slider moves, and then slider 1, so we didn't change the name, so slider 1, is equal to, and we know it's 5, so just go ahead and put 5 in there, okay? And again, if you have different things that you want to do, that's fine, but 5 is my ending position, so I'm easily just going to say, drag this little bugger across. When he comes and is able to tickle Amber's feet a little bit, it's going to change the badge to true. Okay, so let's try and see if that works. Oh, there he is. He's being a little jokester here. Oh, there he is in position 5, tickling away. Variable is set to true. So now we know that it's set to true not only on this slide, but also in our trophy badge slide, right? So the only thing we need to do now is access that badge slide, and we do that by just putting up here just a button. So I'm just going to say insert button. You know, we've done this about a gajillion times. Ooh, gross. Do not want to do that. Control Z. Control Z. Yeah? Let's see, I'm just going to say black. Black border, and I'm just going to say trophies. G-R-O-P-H-A-S. Right. So I got my trophies up there. Everybody's happy. And what I want to do, as we discuss, is open that lightbox slide. So here's this button. I'm going to make sure I name it to trophy. And here I'm going to add a trigger. And what I want this to do is lightbox slide. So action, lightbox slide. I do not want navigation controls. Then here it says slide. Which slide? I want trophies. When user clicks our button trophy. Okay? So first I'm going to go ahead and preview this whole project. And I'm going to click trophies. Nothing, right? He's gray. Obviously I got to fix that. That is not very nice, but nonetheless he's gray. So I'll go false. So now I go through along, I throw along, tickle, true, check trophies, and hooray, he is now full-fledged, and I've earned him. Okay? So that's basically it. What you're doing is setting a variable, so this variable here, that we refer to as slider, and that's a universal variable. So once that is changed once, it is changed throughout the entire project, and is why we get to earn badges of such. Okay? So that is badges, and you're welcome.